All right, guys, let's jump into this crazy break even trade. So, as you can see, stopped out break even. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, especially when it does this. Like, it's so beautiful, bro. I just love getting stopped out break even. My favorite thing about trading. But anyway, we move on. So, let's start from the 4 hour. Because this is the time frame I started from. The daily was kind of doing a bit of nonsense. If you can see, we're just kind of doing this back and forward. So the daily wasn't really too useful to me. But we had these lows down here, which none of the assets had taken, fairly relative equal lows. So this is kind of my draw on liquidity. And 1800 Asia session from yesterday, we open up inside of a candle 3 on the 4 hour, right? Because we already have this C2. And this was pretty much, I knew that 1800, if we're going to be bearish, is going to go lower. So, and the reason why is because we have this strength switch PSP. So gold takes out the high, closes bearish. Silver doesn't take the high, closes bullish. We have that. Two-stage cracking correlation, strength switch PSP, whatever you want to call it. So when 1800 opens up, you just try and get on side with the C3. This is the easy, like C3 is the easiest handle to trade. Like it just is. Because all you have to do now, like for this example, is get to a lower time frame and frame something. So the 1 hour had no key level really. I mean, we opened and took out these handle highs, but it's not really anything important. Same with the 30-minute. So I was kind of just waiting. Best case scenario probably here is wait for like a 15-minute gap in here. Because this is the reversal, right, on the 30-minute. I mean, we're already inside the continuation phase of the higher time frame model. Based on, we're trading the 4 hour C3. But on the 30-minute, this is the reversal. So you know, anyway, I'm waffling. We open up high. Again, the same thing we saw on the 4 hour, strength switch PSP. Okay, gold takes the high, closes bearish. Silver doesn't take the high, closes bullish. When this closes, I can get on side again with the C3 fractal model. Okay, and for this trade, I'm only targeting this previous 4 hour low. So when we're up here, I'm only trying to take it to here. So you can see it comes all the way down, which is great. But for this trade, I'm only trying to take it to here, and this still offers 4R. So once the 30-minute is closed, you can go to the 3-minute or the 5-minute for an entry. Basically, whichever one you prefer. And looking at the 3-minute here, it just doesn't look good, right? It looks choppy. If you look at the 5-minute, I mean, it still kind of looks a bit choppy, but you can see, the bulky opposing candles. And you can also see, we create a gap here. So seeing this order block being created was my entry on the retest. And then, I mean, this is not a CSD because why? These bullish candles didn't sweep out the high. So, I mean, it is an order block, but technically the CSD is like this. But then we take the high with this bearish, like this candle is just weird, but this is the open, I guess. So, it happens. We print this bearish order block anyway. So I get in here, stop loss on the bodies. Sometimes, if stop loss on the bodies doesn't feel like it's a big enough stop loss, but this feels like too big of a stop loss, I literally go 50%, like in the middle. So bodies and wick go in the middle. But for this one, I thought, we have these bulky opposing candles and we're displacing through. There's no reason we should come to the bodies, right? So, and then, yeah, this is my TP. So as we trade lower, I trim my stop loss. So I trim my stop loss to here. We retrace all the way back up and then we close below this bullish order block. And then I trim my stop loss to break even down here. And I'm thinking at this point that this is pretty much like, you know, we're closing down here. We've put in a new high. We're pretty good to go. No, it decides to come all the way back up, stop me out, and then just go in my favor. So it gets stopped out, and then, it just expands like for the next 24 hours. I'm just kidding, but bro, it's part of the game. Like, it is annoying, but you know, this has happened to me so many times, but at the same time, I've taken this setup so many times and it's won. So it's just, it's just the probabilities. It's just the like, you can't rely on the outcome of one trade, to define your career. So I'll take this trade over and over again, and I'll move my stop loss to break even at this point over and over again. It is what it is, bro. So on to the next. Hopefully you guys found some kind of value in this video. Hopefully you didn't get break even like I did. Catch you in the next one.